All right, still on page 180, the very bottom. How the emperor came through England. After that, the emperor would into Spain, and came through England, where he was received in great honor, and with all that pertaineth to love and amity. The king's grace lent him money, and promised him more, and the emperor should tarry a certain years, and marry our princess. Not that the cardinal intended that, thou mayest be sure, for it was not profitable for the kingdom, but his mind was to dally with the emperor, and to keep him without a wife, that in so much as he was young and lusty, he might have been nuzzled and entangled with whores, which is their nurturing of kings, and made so effeminate and beastly that he should never have been able to lift up his heart to any goodness or virtue, that cardinals and bishops might have administered his dominions in the meantime unto our holy father's profit. The king of France, hearing the favor that was shewed unto the emperor, sent immediately a defiance unto our king, not without our cardinals and bishops' counsel. Thou mayest well wit, for Frenchmen are not so foolish to have done it so unadvisedly and so rashly, seeing that they had too many in their tops already. Then our king spake many great words, that he would drive the French king out of his realm, or else the French king should drive him out of his. But he added, as the legate Pandulph taught King John, with the Pope's license, his words had sounded much better, for there can no vow stand in effect except the Holy Father confirmed it. We sent out our soldiers 2 summers against the Frenchmen, unto whose chief captains the cardinal had appointed how far they should go, and what they should do, and therefore the French king was nothing afraid, but brought all his power against the emperor in other places, and so was the emperor ever betrayed. And thus the cardinal was at the emperor's friend openly, and the French king secretly. For at the meeting with the French king, besides Callias, he utterly betrayed the emperor, yet for no love that he had to France, but to help the Pope, yea, and to have been Pope happily, and to save their kingdom, which treason, though all the world smelled it, yet it brake not out openly to the eye till the siege of Pavie. And the cardinal lent the emperor much money openly, and gave the French king more secretly. He played with both hands to serve their secret, that all men know not, as the Bishop of Durham said. But whatsoever the Frenchmen did, they had ever the worse, notwithstanding the secret working of our holy prelates on their side. Hold on, my nose is itching because my mustache is moving funny. Finally, unto the siege of Pavie came the French king personally with 60,000 men of war, of which 12,000 were horsemen, and with money enough. And the emperor's host was under 20,000, of which were but 3,000 horsemen, with no money at all, for he trusted unto the Pope for aid of men, and unto our cardinal for money. But the Pope kept back his men till that the Frenchmen had given them a field, and our cardinal kept back his money for the same purpose. And thus was the silly emperor betrayed, as all his predecessors have been this 800 years. Howbeit there be that say that the emperor's soldiers so threatened Pace, the king's grace ambassador, that he was fain to make chavance with merchants for money in the king's name, to pay the soldiers withal. Wherefore the cardinal took from him all his promotions, and played tormentors with him when he came home, because he presumed to do 1 jot more than was in his commission. But howsoever it was, the emperor's men, in tarrying for help, had spent out all their victuals. Whereupon Bourbon, the chief captain of the emperor, said unto his under captains, Ye see help cometh not, and that our victuals are spent. Wherefore there is no remedy but to fight, though we be unequally matched. If we win, we shall find meat enough. If we lose, we shall lose no more than we must lose with hunger. though we fight not. And so they concluded to set upon the Frenchmen by night. The king of France and his lord, supposing that the moon would sooner have fallen out of the sky than that the emperor's host durst have fought with them, were somewhat negligent, and went the same night a mumming that Bourbon set upon them. The emperor's host, therefore, with their sudden coming upon them, amazed the Frenchmen, and drave them upon heaps together, one on another, so that they never could come in array again, and took the king and divers of his lords, and slew many, and won the field. And there came out all the cardinal's privy treason. For in the French king's tent, say men, were letters found, and beside that in the French king's treasure, and in all the host among the soldiers were English ships found innumerable, which had come sailing 1,000 miles by land. But what wonder ships be made to sail over the sea, and wings to fly into far countries, and to mount to the top of high hills. When the French king was taken, we sang Te Deum. But for all that singing, we made peace with Frenchmen and the Pope. The Venetians, France, and England were knit together, lest the emperor's army should do any hurt in France, whereby ye may conjecture of what mind the Pope and the cardinal were toward the emperor, and with what heart our spirituality, it's not spirituality, it's spirituality, with their invisible secrets, sang Te Deum. And from that time hitherto the emperor and our cardinal have been twain. After that, when the king of France was delivered home again, and his sons left in pledge, many ways were sought to bring home the sons also, but in vain, except the French king would make good that which he had promised the emperor. For the bringing home of those children, no man more bruised his wits than the cardinal. He would in any wise the emperor should have sent them home, and it had been but for our king's pleasure, for the great kindness that he shewed him in times past. He would have married the king's daughter, our princess, unto the Dauphin again, or, as the voice went among many, unto the second brother, and he should have been prince in England and king in time to come, so that he sought all ways to pluck us from the emperor, and to join us into France, to make France strong enough to match the emperor, and to keep him down, that the Pope might reign a god alone, and do what pleaseth him, without controlling of any overseer. And for the same purpose he left nothing unprovided to bring the mart from Antwerp to Calais.